I know love don't hold forever. I know hearts can change their mind, but I still thought we had more time than what you left behind. You held me like you meant it, right up to the end. That's what makes it harder now, knowing when you didn't fall out of love with anger, you didn't turn away in pain. You just slowly stopped reaching for me like something inside you changed. I wish you loved me longer, just a little while, long enough to grow old in the moment, long enough to try. I don't need a lifetime promise or a reason to believe. I just wish you loved me longer than you did with me. I still see us in the simple things, the way you said my name, like loving me was once the easiest part of every day. Now I wonder when that feeling started slipping through, when loving me became something you had to do. If love's supposed to be a choice, then I'm still choosing you, even now when all I'm left with is the truth. I wish you loved me longer before you let it fade, before the warmth in your eyes slowly drifted away. I don't blame you for the leaving or the honesty you gave. I just wish you loved me longer before you changed. Maybe I asked for too much, maybe I held on too tight, but loving you felt like breathing, not something I had to fight. I don't need you to come back or say you were wrong. I just miss the way you loved me before it was gone. I wish you loved me longer, even just enough to let the ending feel softer, to let goodbye hurt less. If love ever keeps a record of the times we tried, I'll remember how I stayed, wishing you'd stayed mine. Still in mine, but it wasn't holding tight, like you were just passing time till you found the right goodbye. You smiled like everything was fine, like nothing had changed at all. But love don't loosen all at once, it learns how to fall. I kept mistaking comfort for something safe and strong. Didn't know the letting go had already begun. It was when you stopped holding on that I felt us slip away. Not when words turned sharp or when love grew say your grip just softened slowly till it wasn't there at all. Yeah, I lost you quietly when you stopped holding on. We still shared the same old stories, still slept under the same roof, but something in your silence started telling me the truth. You look at me like you cared, but not like you were afraid of losing what we were or watching it fade. I would have fought the distance if I'd known that was the sign, but you don't fight what isn't spoken, you just lose it over time. It was when you stopped holding on that the future let me go. No slam doors or final nights, just a warmth turning cold. I don't blame you for the leaving or the honesty it took. I just wish I'd felt the moment when your heart unhooked. They say love's supposed to feel secure, like it won't disappear, but love needs hands to hold it, needs someone staying near. I stayed ready, stayed open while you were letting go. Two hearts moving different directions at different speeds, I know. It was when you stopped holding on that our ending found its way, not in anger or regret, just in how you stayed away. If love ever leaves a mark that no one else can see, it's the space your hand left behind, still holding me. Like a nightmare, you don't shake me when I sleep. You just show up in the small things, in the spaces in between, like the smell of early morning or a song I used to know. You don't demand my attention, you just quietly show. I thought forgetting would be louder, thought it would hurt in obvious ways, but you stay gentle and familiar, like you never really went away. You linger in the softest way, like a breath I almost feel, not the pain of missing you, just the truth of what was real. You don't break my heart again, you don't ask me to stay, you just remind me love was here in the softest way. Your laugh leaves lives in certain moments that don't know how to leave. Like when the sun hits the kitchen floor, or when I finally breathe. I don't reach for you anymore. I don't rewind the past. But some love don't need revisiting to last. I don't chase the ghost of us or wish you'd return. I just let the memory settle and quietly burn. You linger in the softest way, like a warmth I can't explain. Not sharp enough to call it pain, too deep to call it gone. You don't pull me backwards, you don't lead me astray. You just live inside my life in the softest way. Maybe that's what love becomes when it's treated with care. Not a wound that never closes, just a presence still there. I don't need to understand it or name it to be true. I just know my heart learned something by loving you. You linger in the softest way, and I've made my peace with a part of you that stays with me, and the part that's free. If love ever leaves a footprint that time won't erase, it's written in the quiet truth that you linger in the softest way. I hear your name in passing conversation, like it never learned to leave. It settles in my chest a moment, heavier than it should be. I don't say it like I used to. I let it rest inside my mouth. Some words carry too much meaning to ever say out loud. Time keeps telling me I'm better, like it's something I should prove. But healing doesn't mean forgetting. it just learns to live with you. Your name still feels heavy every time it finds my lips, like it pulls me back to moments I can't outrun or fix. I can say I've moved on, I can say I'm doing fine, but your name still weighs the same every time. I cleaned out drawers and folded memories, put away what I could stand. But love don't pack up easily, it stays right where it lands. I've learned how to talk around you like you're something I outgrew, but silence fills in all the spaces where I still mean you. I don't ache like I once did, but I still feel the truth. Some things don't stop hurting, they just stop hurting you. Your name still feels heavy, like a truth I can't outrun. Not the sharp pain of missing you, just the weight of what's done. I don't reach for you anymore, I don't call or rewind, but your name still feels heavy in my mind. I don't want it to be lighter, I don't want it to fade. Then this one's mine to keep. Some names don't haunt your nights, they just settle in deep. Your name still feels heavy, but I don't fight it now. It's just part of who I've been and who I am somehow. I don't wish you'd come back, I don't curse the time, I just live with the weight of loving you. One name at a time. Stayed right beside me smiling, like nothing had changed at all. but your heart had already packed its bags. I just missed the call. You kissed me like it was routine, said you'd see me soon. I didn't know that moment was the end of you. I was listening for the wrong signals, waiting on a sign. Some endings don't raise their voices, they just leave you behind. It was a goodbye I didn't hear, no warning in your tone. You walked away in plain daylight, and I was left alone. You didn't say the words out loud, didn't let me brace. Yeah, you left me with the silence I can't replace. I replay our last conversation, looking for a crack, something I should have noticed, something I could track. But love don't always announce itself when it's ready to go. Sometimes it slips out quietly before you know. I would have held you closer if I'd known that it was the night, but I trusted love too blindly and missed the signs. It was a goodbye I didn't hear, but I felt it all the same in the empty side of the bed, in the echo of your name. I don't haunt the words you didn't say, I haunt the truth instead, that you were already gone before you left. I don't need an explanation or reasons wrapped in blame. I just wish I'd known the moment when everything changed. Some goodbyes don't end relationships, they just end the line. And I was still believing when love said goodbye. It was a goodbye I didn't hear, and that's what hurts the most. Not the leaving or the distance, but losing you so close. If love ever teaches lessons, this one cuts me clear. I lost you without a warning, in a goodbye I didn't hear.
Talk about nothing for so long, I thought that meant we were okay. Didn't hear the quiet building up in everything we did and say. We learned how to live around each other like that was enough to stay. But love don't live in empty words, it slowly drifts away. I kept waiting for a moment when the truth would finally speak, but silence doesn't break the tension, it just weakens what you keep. Love slipped through the silence, right under our skin. not with goodbye or bitter words, but where sound should have been. By the time we felt the distance, we were already gone. Yeah, love slipped through the silence and took us along. You look at me like you were tired, like loving me took more breath. I felt the weight behind your eyes, but didn't know what it meant. We filled the nights with background noise to drown out what we feared. But the loudest thing between us was everything we couldn't hear. If love had raised its voice, I might have tried to stay, but it faded in the quiet. While I looked away, love slipped through the silence like we weren't holding tight. Every honest question took another bite. I don't blame you for the ending or the truth it brought. I just miss the way we lost it without being caught. Some love don't end in arguments or tears across the floor. They just slowly stop existing like they never were. I would have fought for every word if I'd known what to say, but silence made the choice for us along the way. Love slipped through the silence and I felt it too late. Not the pain of losing you, but how quietly it escaped. If love ever leaves a lesson that I carry on, it's listen harder in the quiet before love is gone. Didn't wound me all at once, didn't knock me to the floor. It came in inches, not in miles, till I couldn't feel you anymore. Every smile stayed convincing, every touch felt almost right. But love was learning how to leave me one quiet night at a time. I kept telling myself patience was the strongest way to care, but patience doesn't stop the bleeding when love's barely there. It was love that hurt too slowly for me to feel the fall. By the time I knew what was missing, there was nothing left at all. No moment I could point my finger, no single truth to hold. Just a heart that broke without a sound from love that hurt too slow. We stopped asking how we felt, started guessing instead. We learned how to avoid the truth by saying nothing again. Your eyes didn't look unkind, they just looked past my face, like you were already somewhere I couldn't chase. If pain had screamed, I might have run. If love had begged, I might have stayed. but it whispered itself away while I waited. It was love that hurt too slowly, like a bruise under skin. I couldn't tell where it started or when I let it in. I don't blame you for the leaving or myself for the hope. I just wish I'd felt the breaking sooner, before it broke. Some endings don't shatter, they just thin till they tear. Some hearts don't fall apart, they slowly wear. I would have fought if I'd known what I was losing then. But love that fades quietly doesn't warn you when. It was love that hurt too slowly, and I carry that truth. Not the sharpness of losing you, but the time it took to lose. If love ever teaches lessons, this one I know. Watch the quiet kind of heartbreak that hurts too slow. I remember the day you went quiet, like it happened all at once. Your laughter left the room early, and the rest just followed along. You answered me like it was polite, not like it mattered anymore. I felt the space grow in your voice before I felt it in my core. I kept asking all the wrong questions, looking for something to blame. But silence don't offer reasons, it just changes everything. It was the day you went quiet that I knew we were slipping away. Not when you said you were tired, not when love felt too late. Your voice lost its warmth that morning, and nothing sounded the same. Yeah, I lost you long before goodbye, the day you went quiet. We sat across from each other talking, like strangers killing time. You nodded like you heard me, but your eyes were miles behind. I reached for your hand out of habit, you let it happen but slow, like you were already practicing how to let me go. I don't blame you for the distance or the way you changed. I just wish I'd understood it before it felt this late. It was the day you went quiet that the future closed its door. Now we're shouting or with tears, just a calm I couldn't ignore. I still replay that afternoon, when it's in trouble. But sometimes it just retreats, sometimes it slowly lowers its voice. Till you don't hear it breathe. I would have listened harder if I'd known that was the sign. But heartbreak doesn't always warn you, it just steals the time. It was the day you went quiet that I felt us come undone. Not the ending we remember, but where the ending begun. If love ever leaves a fingerprint that never fades from sight, it's the echo of your silence from the day you went quiet. The goodbye, you didn't turn away. You stood there like you were memorizing every word you couldn't say. Your eyes held on to something like they weren't ready to release. I felt the weight of all our moments in that quiet in-between. I didn't ask you to explain it, didn't ask you to stay. I just watched the truth settle in the last warm look you gave. It was the last warm look you gave that stayed with me that night. Not the leaving, not the distance, just the softness in your eyes. Like part of you still loved me, even though you couldn't stay. Yeah, I lost you in the kindness of the last warm look you gave. Your hand lingered on the doorway like it didn't know what to do. I swear the room held its breath, like it was waiting to. You smiled the way you always did when you didn't want to cry. And in that small familiar gesture, I watched our future die. If you looked away soon, I might have learned to cope, but you left me with a memory that still feels like home. It was the last warm look you gave that I can't let go. Not the goodbye, not the silence, just the love you couldn't show. I don't curse you for the mercy or the gentleness you chose. I just wish that look hadn't been the last one that I know. Maybe love never leaves us cold. Maybe it just grows quiet. Maybe endings don't erase the warmth
last into the ending. Never burned out in a flame. We just soften around the edges till love barely knew its name. We stopped fighting for the moment, stopped asking who we'd be. Like rain that doesn't know it's falling, we let go quietly. I felt it in the way you touched me, like you were already gone. Beside me, but something had moved on. We fell like gentle rain, slow and hard to see. Not a storm, not a warning, just drifting quietly. By the time we felt the distance, we were already through. Yeah, we felt like gentle rain. Me. We talked about the future softly, like it was far away. Didn't notice how tomorrow started sounding like someday. Your smile stayed kind and careful, but it didn't linger long. Like you were learning how to leave me without saying it wrong. Love don't always break in pieces. Sometimes it thins with time, until you can't tell when it ended, or when it stopped being mine. We feel like gentle rain, no thunder in the sky, just a quiet kind of heartbreak, passing slowly by. I didn't feel it in a moment, I felt it over you. Yeah, we felt like gentle rain. I never knew, if I'd known how soft love fades, I'd have listened harder then, held you closer in the spaces where we let silence in. but you can't hold falling water. You can't stop time that way. You can only stand and feel it. Wash your love away. We fell like gentle rain, and I'm still soaked in you. Every memory comes back softly, like they always do. If love ever leaves a mark that no one else can see, it's the way you still fall through me, like gentle rain on me.
We never burned too bright a while, never lit up the sky. Our love was more like candlelight, soft enough to survive. We kept it safe from all the noise, from anything too loud. Didn't know how fragile it was till the flame burned down. I thought quiet meant forever, thought calm was always strong. Didn't see the spark growing tired while we carried on. It was when we lost our gentle fire that I felt the cold coming, not in anger, not in ruin, just a slow retreat within. We didn't break, we didn't shatter, didn't fall apart in pain. We just stopped feeling the warmth when our gentle fire faded away. We still said all the right things, still held each other close, but love don't live in habits. It lives where feeling goes. Your touch stayed kind and familiar, but it didn't reach my soul, like you were holding on to comfort after letting go. I kept hoping love would notice
not with tears or raised voices, just the absence of fear. We stopped trying to stay warm, stopped fighting through the night, and love slipped into memory without a fight. I don't blame us for the ending or the way we change. Some love is meant to be a shelter, not a burning flame. I'd still choose every moment, every soft refrain, even knowing how it ends. I'd love you just the same. It was when we lost our gentle fire that I learned how love can fade. Not everything is meant to last, not every warmth can stay. If love ever asks for honesty, this is mine to say. We didn't lose each other loudly, we just cooled away.
Your hand was already on the door, keys ringing soft like rain. I said your name but not too loud, afraid it wouldn't change a thing. The hallway felt too narrow, like it knew what was coming next. Every step you took away from me pressed deeper in my chest. I stood there holding all my courage, like it might still pull you through. But courage don't mean nothing when love's already leaving you. It was when you didn't look back that I finally understood. You weren't running from the moment, you were gone for good. No tear fell, no last request, no reason you should stay. My heart broke in the quiet space when you didn't look back my way. We used to say goodbye forever, like we'd circle back around. Now goodbye felt like punctuation at the end of what we found. I watch your shadow cross the driveway, watch it fade into the night. I kept waiting for a hesitation that never came in sight. If you'd pause for just a second, I might have known what to do. But certainty was in your silence, and it told me we were through. It was when you didn't look back that the truth came clear. Not in words or broken promises, just the absence of you here. You didn't slam the door behind you, didn't make a sound. You just walked straight into your future and left me standing now. They say closure comes with answers or a reason you can keep, but sometimes it's just the way someone leaves that steals your sleep. I don't blame you for your honesty or the strength you had to go. I just wish I hadn't learned so much from the things you didn't show. It was when you didn't look back that my hope finally fell. because you stopped loving me, but because I could tell. If love ever needed proof, that hearts already know. It's written in